Got big lefty midi getting to his spot, right? And this is where you freeze it right here. Great spacing, right? Great spacing. And I like you bring the second guy here. So there's the potential threat of a two-man game.
The illusion of a pick.
The illusion of a pick allows him to kind of go either way. You can see, right? From a spectator's perspective, where's this guy going to go, right? He wants to get to his left hand, strong left-handed player. There's an opportunity to sweep here. You can see all the green grass, right in front of the cage. Beautiful spacing off ball to enable that, number one. And then by bringing that second guy to the ball, if you win that kind of mini two-man game, there's one less defender off ball, right?
Yeah, I'd really like to see this defender take a much higher topside angle. And I think you bring up that point. As he starts to drift over into this spot, we watch, I think the defender, at first, he's in a good position, but then he needs to take 3 to 4 shuffle steps to the right. His right, which will be to the left of the camera, that will force Aidan Williams to go down this alley and either use this two-man game or that player to clear through, and then you have a slide guy. So right now, this defender already is giving Aidan Williams a little too much space to get that top side. I think if he takes 2 steps to his right, he's going to take that away a little bit better.
Yeah, dynamic change of direction immediately gains leverage, right? Immediately gains leverage, gains separation. So now defensively, you got to be prepared. Who's going here? So and from my perspective, you've got kind of 2 offensive players kind of a little close to each other. I mean, they're spaced out, but one's a threat, one's not. You got 2 defenders. There's your hedge situation, right? That adjacent player opposite the field, you got to go. You've got to come and then trust that your rotation behind the play here. But there's still this huge lane to cut right down the middle for Aidan. So it's just a matter of how aggressively and then how does he manipulate or play off a slide.
Well, to your point, this adjacent defender, this defenseman could literally whack him with a stick and say, go.
Yeah.
He's so close to him. And that's the part, to your point, this offensive guy, he needs to get lower or just get out of the way. But this defender, it's his responsibility, being the second slide, to push this adjacent defender. He doesn't even have to slide. He just needs to step into this hole, and then he can recover to either of these 2 outside players. You see here, he just stays so far wide, and you've got 2 white jerseys basically 1.5 yards away from each other where one player could cover. This guy is 25, 35 yards away from the goal. He's not scoring, right? So leave him.
No, and what Aidan does as the ball carrier, he uses his head, right? He's staring at that original guy in the two-man game. So his defender, he's already identified, okay, this guy's looking to slide. He was initially in the two-man game, so he's thinking he's still a part of this play. Even though I've swept and I'm gone completely away from this two-man game, he thinks he's still involved in the two-man game. So he's like, okay, maybe I'm the help guy. So Aidan's staring down his initial two-man partner. You can see the second slide guy already preparing to come up too, right?
And he does a nice job there. He's one guy, I think, defensively that does the right thing. He slides, he anticipates, and I'm hoping he's communicating to this guy, hey, I got your two, I'm filling up.
So beautiful blend of athleticism and then creativity. So Aidan wins the initial one-on-one matchup, and then now here comes the deception. I've identified where I'm going to throw the ball, and now, boom, that little hitch fake. I'm going to get that guy. Look, he's turned his back. The whole defense freeze. There's the slide we wanted to happen originally, right? There's the slide that we wanted to happen originally. A little bit of movement on that backside with the drift down the backside, right? And then late, and then hammer.
And that defender eventually goes, but we talk about you always want to be below the ball. At this point, he's not low enough to slide across the field and stop him. He needs to either go now or drift lower, like you said, help in so he can take an inside-out slide. As you see, by the time he does slide, he's actually behind Aidan Williams, and so he tries to get a little poke check, but it's no match. It's just too late as he lets that thing fly.
And off ball on that backside, initially not great spacing, but then there's some solid drift into a nice little triangle. So you're going to see this low right crease guy, just freeze it right here, this low right crease guy, he drifts in, this guy drifts down, this guy needs to be a little bit lower, right? If he was right here, if he was right there, then it would enable that pass forward if that slide occurred. So better spacing than was initially set up, but just late, no slide. Williams, Aidan turns the corner and absolutely buries this.
You know who used to be so good at this? Kyle Dixon. Do you remember that? He would drift down that side, and he could let it fly.
Yeah, unfortunately. So let's take a look at the highlight here. Let's look at some a little more of the intricacies here. And really, it's about the shot placement, right? So it's about the manipulation right there
I think
of
it's
the slide.
that fake. Yeah, that fake right there completely freezes that defender from sliding. If he had just kept going, I think that defender probably would have slid early. But that little head fake makes him think, he's probably going to dump this off. And that half a second gives him what he needs to keep going.
And then from a shot placement, right, you're going across the middle of the field. The goalie's stepping with you, so shooting behind the goalie, right, using his momentum against him. And then beautiful off-stick placement, not so the goalie can just punch across, a little bit lower in that kind of upper hip area. Tough spot.
Just beats him right to the spot.